June of 1993, Steven Spielberg releases Jurassic Park. Several sequels were made of it. A month earlier, May of 1993, Roger Corman released Carnosaur. Several sequels were made out of it. Jurassic Park. Steven Spielberg used the latest in CGI. Basically up a leap forward in CGI technology to make realistic looking dinosaurs and and everything. It was great. Roger Corman used a dinosaur puppet. Several scenes of this thing just sort of going down the street with a weird, green screen background behind it. Really, 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 really cheesy looking. That said, in my opinion, Carnosaur is still the better movie series. And I say this for one big reason, and this is something I call the Banshee rating system. It's a system I am still developing. It's not formalized. Basically, banshees are spirits, Irish folklore, things which they wail before somebody dies. So banshees predict death. You hear the banshee wail, someone's going to die. And that's one thing I look at when I look at movies, is how predictable are the deaths. Very predictable. It's not a good movie. I once, the occasional unpredictable death makes a movie better. If you can predict all the deaths from the opening sequences, it's not a good movie in my opinion. So, again, haven't formalized this yet. I'm not sure, should you get points for doing things too predictably and therefore a high score makes it a bad movie? Or do you get points for doing things unpredictably and a high score makes it a good movie? Haven't decided on that yet. Like I said, the system is still in development. But that would be one factor we look at, is how predictable are the deaths. Can you predict who is going to die? Obviously, Jurassic Park, you knew certain people weren't going to die. Sam O'Neill's character, Laura Dern's character, the kids. Carnosaur, throughout the Carnosaur movies, you sort of get an idea who the hero is at the beginning, but some of them, they sort of switch heroes on you. It's like the guy you think, oh, this is the hero, he's going to survive the whole thing, dies, and someone else is actually the hero. Which to me, again, makes it a better movie, just because it's unexpected. When you go through and you expect the lead character to survive, and then you find out, oh, that's not the lead character, it makes things more interesting. That saying, heroes can die as well. John Wayne has died in his movies. Some of his better known movies he's died in. The Cowboys, the Fighting Seabees. And he was the hero in these movies. So, heroes can have a death in a movie. For some reason, we don't like to do that anymore. We can't have the main character die or something like that. Whereas, John Wayne, yes, you can, and his movies are considered classic by some people. So, it is very much a, trying to kill off the hero every movie can be a bad thing, but at the same time, you can't have a hero death and have it be a good movie. So that's one factor, is predictability of deaths. Another factor in the Banshee rating would be, how soon can we predict the deaths? Jurassic Park, you got the lawyer, Wayne Knight. Obviously, we see their characters, and within 5 minutes, oh, this guy's going to die. Pretty much everyone else who died, it was sort of up in the air at the beginning when you first met him. The game park warden, or not warden, but the guy who ran the African safari, and he's the big expert on animals. You could sort of guess he was going to die because that's sort of a cliche thing that happens. Honestly, there was a 50% chance that John Hammond would die, just because he was the guy who decided to clone dinosaurs, and that's always something that the mad scientist ends up dying. He wasn't a mad scientist, but he thought it was a great idea to clone dinosaurs, so sort of pushed him into that category. So there was a 50% chance, in my opinion, that he could have died at the beginning. As the movie went on, not as much. Again, the kids, you knew the kids weren't going to die. That goes back into the unexpected death thing. There was in the 70s a made-for-TV movie, Ants, which was a really cheesy movie. One of the good things about it was a kid died in it. I have nothing against children as a rule, but they shouldn't be immune from death in movies. In fact, one thing I hate about children in movies is usually they'll do something stupid, get into trouble, the other characters have to come and rescue them, and then one of the characters I've gotten to like dies while trying to rescue the kids. So, like I said, children death in movies, especially children who do stupid things and endanger the lives of other people, I have no problem with children dying in movies. I don't want it to be a, teeny bopper bloodbath necessarily, or actually, there have been a few of those made. Don't want it to be a pre-adolescent or a, single-digit age bloodbath. But still, if the kids do something stupid, I have nothing against them dying in the movie. So, as the death's predictable is one thing I look at. How soon can you predict the death? Like I said, Wayne Knight and the lawyer in Jurassic Park, you could. Carnosaur was a bloodbath. Dinosaurs, they're going to kill people. People doing stupid things are going to die. Like I said, it was realistic that it was a bloodbath. I guess the expectation there is everyone's going to die, or most people are going to die. So if you want to put it that way, then yeah, Carnosaur has such failings. Outside of that, like I said, I still think it was a better movie just because of people aren't getting off just because they are a key character. Everyone has an equal chance of dying, just about. There is maybe that one guy who is eventually okay. He's the hero. He's going to survive. But then there's the nature of the death, which again, talking dinosaur movies, you're going to die from a dinosaur. I mean, that one's a little predictable. Now we go to 1957 movie, Zombies of Moratau. Not a great movie, in my opinion. One thing I liked, one thing that made it a better movie was, so you got the chief of the island, the police chief of the island. He's, of course, and I'm not going to say stuck up, but a bit, bossy, discounts anything that anyone says he disagrees with. Zombies are just a myth, blah, blah, blah. Everything, the authority figure is going to die because of all of this stuff he's going on. And he does die. However, he dies as a hero at the end. Yeah, it's not the, oh no, I'm surrounded by heroes, empty my gun uselessly at them, and, get torn to shreds. He actually dies a hero's death. And so, again, his death was predictable. The way he died was unpredictable. And that made it a better movie, in my opinion. So that is another factor I would put into the Banshee rating system. And then, of course, the last one is, are the deaths justified? I don't like slasher movies. People are going to die for the sake of dying. The end. Whereas, you know, clone dinosaurs, people are going to die, other people might survive. You know, we have to have some deaths. Otherwise, the movie's not as good. But, are we justifying deaths? Now, if I were to watch Wuthering Heights and Heathcliff died in a drive-by shooting, definitely unpredictable, but also completely wrong for the movie. You're rewriting a book into a movie and you're throwing in this death which doesn't belong just because you want a death scene. Yeah, that would get negative points or do badly on the Banshee ratings system. Obviously, as a rating system, this would only work for movies where you expect people to die. So, action movies, horror movies, adventure movies, cop movies, stuff like that. So, we couldn't use it for Wuthering Heights unless they had this completely unexpected death which shouldn't have taken place. So that's it. Like I said, not formalized. I'm not going to start rating things by the Banshee rating as I do videos. I might throw it out there occasionally. Even then, it won't be a number thing. It'll be more just this rates good or bad on the Banshee rating, just because I don't have a formal system set up, like I said. And that is it. So that's all I had to say. Have a good day and enjoy yourself.